Hi, I'm Shorty, and this video is for all of you born with your sun in Capricorn. So I will be sharing from the complete book of the zodiac. If you were born between December 21st and January 21st, then you were born with your sun in Capricorn. If you're interested in your moon and your Venus signs, please check out those playlists so you can calculate those signs and see your appropriate video. So let's see what it says for you Capricorns. The Capricorns are the keepers of the cosmic clock. The Capricorn quest is to treasure the history and measure the mystery of the passing hours. A Capricorn, however, doesn't so much seek to take time as to give it. To create opportunity for others by helping them make more of life's most precious, yet limited resource, is every Capricorn's noble wish. If you need to get something done, contact a Capricorn. These down-to-earth people tackle every task one step at a time and rarely let anything or anyone intimidate them. Even when they're under extreme pressure, you'll rarely see a Capricorn crumble. On the surface at least, they're steady and stable, inspiring others to entrust them with responsibility and authority. Beneath the Capricorn crust, however, is a very soft center. Capricorns seethe with hidden hopes and intense emotions. They usually repress these, using them as a driving force to propel them towards ambition. Even so, those emotions are still potently dangerous. Imagine someone who keeps explosives in a safe deposit box buried in the basement of a bank. Sooner or later, something will detonate the explosives. Capricorns know this, but they still hate to admit their feelings. You must understand this if you are to be a true friend to a Capricorn. It's easy to get along with them at a superficial level because they're so full of useful information and practical ideas. They've always got something interesting to say, and they're good listeners too. But at a deeper level, there's another story to be told. Gain a Capricorn's confidence, and they'll gradually share their secret, volatile fears. The very act of admission diffuses them. So while your Capricorn might appreciate a handy gadget as a birthday present, what you should really give is a chance to bare his or her soul. Home. Capricorns like their homes to be safe places in every sense of the word. Some people's homes look like palaces, but are full of items you dare not touch, or sofas which look lovely but turn out to be hard as nails. Yours is low on gloss and glamour, but high on comfort and practicality. You'd rather have double glazing than stained glass. You'd rather have one sturdy grandfather clock than a shelf full of fancy china ornaments. And you'd rather hang your clothes on the rack on the back of a chair than to spend a fortune on bedroom furniture that nobody is ever going to see. Your house is usually the last in the street to have the latest decor, but it's usually the first place people head for when they want to relax. Your ideal house number is 40 to remind you of when life begins for a Capricorn. Clothes. Capricorns dress as they speak. They like functional, practical clothes and have little interest in frills or finery unless it's necessary for the role they want to play. In mythology of the zodiac, Capricorn rules the past. Though you're quite comfortable carrying off an up-to-the-minute outfit, you feel far more comfortable in something classic, timeless, and universally smart. If it happens to be something your mother might have once worn, so much the better. Indeed, better still, if it would have suited your grandmother or even grandfather. I'm not suggesting you ought to wander around town in a bustle or crinoline, but you might look splendid in culottes, hacking jackets, plus fours, and similar garb from the early 20th century and onwards. Cars. You won't thank me for saying this, nor come to think of it will your bank account. Nonetheless, your ideal car is probably a BMW, a Mercedes, a Rolls, or a Jaguar. As a Capricorn, you place a lot of importance on precision, efficiency, and reliability. You're also frankly not immune to a little bit of status seeking. If you're not already the proud owner of one of the above, it's probably because you feel you can't afford to be. Next time you change cars, however, consider a previously owned upscale vehicle in preference to a younger model of less repute. Such vehicles, like Capricorns themselves, tend to mature beautifully if well maintained. They also drive just as you do, comfortably, satisfyingly, and safely. Food. Capricorns tend to prefer plain, wholesome home cooking. They have cosmopolitan tastes, but are unimpressed by fancy cuisine and expensively presented food. Some might call you unadventurous when it comes to your eating habits. You prefer to see yourself as unpretentious. Wholesome, simple foods of the earth are typically preferred fare of a Capricorn. Let the food faddists keep their complicated cuisines. You'll settle for a plain, basic, good old meat and potatoes, bacon and eggs, hot dogs and baked beans. Your attitude towards food, as towards much in life, boils down to, if you've got a successful formula, why change it? Money. It is in exchanging the gifts of the earth that you'll find absolute abundance and be satisfied. Yet, unless the exchange be in love and kindly justice, it will lead but some to greed and others to hunger. If you have just skimmed over the quote above in a hurry to get to the meat, please read it again. It is the meat. The words were written by a Capricorn, the poet, Kahil Gibran. They come from this beautiful book, The Prophet, and sum up all there is to say about your relationship with money. Forget all the thoughts of get-rich-quick schemes or opportunities to make a fast buck in an ethically debatable venture. All you ever need in order to keep the wolf from the door is to start doing more of what you're best at, what you know makes sense, and what you know is fundamentally fair and wholesome. As a Capricorn, you are capable of earning a living in many ways. You are efficient, incisive, organized, and diligent. You are also capable of manifesting great authority. Other people sit up and take notice when you make an empathetic statement. Really, though, you need to apply none of the above qualities to your financial enterprises. If you do, you will most certainly end up in a situation where you may have wealth but little satisfaction to show for it. The great secret of success, in the true sense of the word, for every Capricorn, is to apply dedication to a project or plan that truly means the world to you. When you're engaged in such an honorable undertaking, money finds its way to you like a salmon finds its way home through the ocean. Just the job? Architect, builder, business person, chiropractor, clockmaker, economist, excavator, furniture restorer, gardener, government official, leather worker, manicurist, mining engineer, osteopath, plasterer, prison officer, property developer, restoration worker, sculptor, transportation scheduler, vocational counselor. 5 ways to cash in. Next time someone makes you a promise, be certain to get it confirmed in writing. Stick to what you're good at and let the rest look after itself. Stop worrying about everything going wrong. It might never happen. Charge more and apologize less. Eat at cheaper restaurants and bring your own wine. 5 ways to branch out. Go to work for the government agency and get it to run efficiently. Convert your car to run on solar power and use tea bags. Star in a steamy XXX rated movie, but don't tell your friends. Get the last word in a conversation. Write how-to manuals. Love. Capricorns have no time for the flowery trappings of romance, but if they really care for you, they'll show it in a genuine, endearing way. If you're not convinced that Capricorns are more sensually responsive and better able to give pleasure than any other sign, take a straw poll among your friends. For you as a Capricorn, the question is not so much how you can make your love last forever as to how you can make your feelings for another person come to life in the first place. Unless you're a highly atypical of your sign or are in the company of someone who's tremendously natural, almost chemical rapport with you, you tend to hold back a great deal of your heart, even your head. You can play the game of love as well as, if not better than, anyone. You can say all the right words, make the right gestures, do all the right things. But can you really feel sure that you are doing more than going through the motions? More importantly, can your partner? You can be certain that if your partner is truly the right person for you, they'll have noticed much earlier in the relationship than you might ever imagine what a difficult nut to crack you are. They may have discreetly avoided mentioning, or they may perhaps have commented, realized there is very little they could do about it, and decided to make the most of whatever they could get. But they will have sensed your residence, and they will, naturally though, have put up barriers of their own in order to protect themselves. These barriers are probably the only things that stand between you and your partner making it through from here to the day when time stands still. To dismantle them, you do not suddenly have to turn into a fountain of sentimentality, but you do have to acknowledge their existence, communicate your concern about them, and consistently work on ways to ensure your relationship is based on more than just a routine, a lifestyle, a habit, and a fear of change. A sideways look at your sign. When Capricorns aren't busy calling a spade, the chances are they're using the spade to dig deep and prepare strong foundations for whatever project they happen to be involved in. They don't waste time waiting for things to be perfect before rolling up their sleeves and getting to work. They cope with whatever happens to be in front of them, compensating for what's missing, adapting to what's needed, and inventing new ways to use what they've actually got. Unlike some do-it-yourselves in the zodiac, Capricorn's do-it-yourselfers normally do quite well. If they're putting up a shelf with the wrong size screws, they'll pop in a couple extra ones at the strategic points of weakness in the wall. If they're advertising an event with a limited budget, they'll pick their words carefully to ensure that those who see the publicity feel obligated to attend and bring their friends. Capricorns are masters or mistresses of the authority game, even when they're shaking in terror, anxiety, or despair. On the inside, you wouldn't know it to look at them. They have magnificent composure and incredible self-restraint. So far, I've been describing an asset, a characteristic that explains why so many Capricorns rise to positions of great responsibility and power. People sense that they're trustworthy, so they delegate authority to them. This is fine, except that Capricorns are actually sensitive human beings who suffer from emotions like fear, jealousy, or insecurity, just as much as the rest of us. So sometimes, just sometimes, the things that they do or say are unwise, unfair, or unjust. This is an accusation that could be accurately leveled at anyone else in any sign, but the trouble with Capricorns is that everything they say comes out sounding sensible and reasonable, even when it's complete and utter nonsense. This wouldn't be quite so bad if only it meant Capricorns occasionally abuse their position of respect by misleading other people. You could say it's not their fault, that it's up to others to see through the facade. However, Capricorns are inscrutable, not only to others but also to themselves. They have great difficulty separating what they really feel from what they think they ought to be feeling. They try hard always to do the right thing, no matter the circumstances, and they judge themselves harshly when they discover they have been wrong. Despite the fact that Capricorns are rarely wrong, When they do make an error, they make it in style. They make it with their heart and soul, convinced at the time of making it that it can't possibly be an error at all. They find it almost impossible to forgive themselves for their mistakes, and even worse, they have memories like elephants. Many people find it easy to treat the past as a mysterious world which belongs to someone else. Capricorns are the zodiac's natural historians. To a Capricorn, yesterday is an unalterable foundation upon which every tomorrow is built. They take the past and themselves very, very seriously. A Capricorn who loses self-confidence finds it very hard to regain it, which is why some people born under this sign fail to reach the deserved position in the order of things. What's more, a disillusioned Capricorn can soon become convinced that he or she deserves to suffer. When that happens, as it often does, they can spend large chunks of their lives turning down opportunities. Fortunately, this doesn't have to last forever. Eventually, their confidence comes back, and the essential qualities of strength, stamina, and leadership re-emerge. So, all of you Capricorns out there, I hope that you found this information helpful. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. I hope that you'll let me know if you liked it. And I want to let all of you out there know that I love you.